Hello guys, well I've also just realised I'm wearing the same thing that I was wearing in my last video. Awkward, okay. Hello everyone, it's me Stephanie and welcome back to another video. So today I will be talking about my favourite revision techniques and what really helped me within these past mock exams in terms of revision, focus, motivation, etc. So I'm going to be talking about everything that helped me, all of my favourite little bits, and how I stayed motivated throughout the whole 2 weeks, and how I'm going to continue to stay motivated as well throughout the next few months before my actual exams come up. I've just finished my mock exams, which went on for 2 weeks, and we had exams in all areas. So I had my exams for all subjects. So basically kind of like the real thing. We had them where we would usually have them. We prepared as if we would usually prepare. We did miss a few topics because we weren't able to finish everything, obviously, because we did them 4 months earlier. I don't know if all schools do mocks at this time, but yeah, that's how we did it. So I'm going to tell you all of my tips, techniques, tricks, and everything, and what worked for me from my personal experience. My first tip is teaching yourself. This is my biggest tip, hands down. I've been doing this for years now, and it's been one of the biggest things that have helped me personally. Everyone does have their own teaching and learning techniques though, so it depends on what would work best for you. This personally has helped me by miles, so I definitely recommend at least trying it. So with all of my notes, I rewrite everything, I redesign them, and I make them really colourful, so when I am going back over them, they're clear, they're nice to read, and they're nice to look at, and the big bright colours help me remember them more as well. And I always rewrite my notes as soon as I'm done with writing them, so I would go back home or after the lesson if I don't have any work to do, I'd rewrite them then. But I always want to make sure that when I'm rewriting them and I'm in a focused environment and my mind is fully absorbing it, because that's kind of the reason why I rewrite my notes as well, is so I can have the chance to reabsorb and properly learn what I was writing in the lesson. In terms of teaching myself, when I'm going over these notes that I've rewritten, I go over these notes by speaking aloud, and I also like to write down while I'm doing this. And then when I'm going over them and talking about them, I go over them as if I'm teaching it to a class. And because I'm talking as if a teacher would, rewording all of my notes and saying it out loud and properly understanding as if again I was teaching a class. I don't know, there's something about it that makes it a lot more understandable, and because it's coming from me as well, and I have all of my own time to teach it as if a teacher would, but to myself, it's very helpful. And that's really, like, I swear to God, whenever I do that, I absorb so much more information. So even if you're doing it quietly and you're speaking aloud quite quietly, you could even do this in bed, or you're on your laptop and doing this, as long as you're talking aloud and you're really making sure that you're understanding what you're saying and you're talking as if you're teaching a class, trust me, it will help. It's definitely one of my favourite techniques. So another one of my revising techniques is again rewriting notes. So this is very basic, and I know it's not shown to be very effective, but it's always nice to just go over them and give your mind a nice refresher. Third would be flashcards. This is kind of a known and common technique already. It's just a very great way to write down everything that you're unsure of, quickly go over notes when you need them, write down questions that you struggle with so you can quickly go back to them. And because flashcards are so accessible as well, you can literally bring them anywhere and whip them out whenever you need them. It could be right before an exam, and if you need to refresh a certain topic, you can just go over your flashcards, and it is so helpful. If you'd like me to do another video on how I write my flashcards, what I do with my flashcards, where I store my flashcards, I will do a video on that as well. A few new apps that I've actually discovered in terms of flashcards, obviously Quizlet is amazing, and again that's also very accessible because you have it on your phone as well, so you could literally be on the bus and you can go through your Quizlet flashcards. It's so helpful. Also, something that's very helpful is an app called Anki. So it kind of measures and calculates everything that you're struggling with, all of the flashcards that you end up struggling with, and then every single day it gives you flashcards to look back upon. It helps time out your revision, so you're systematically absorbing memory or absorbing information that wasn't absorbing so easily the other day. It's an app that guides when and what to teach for you every day to make sure that you build your memory on it. It's quite complicated. You can check it out on their website as well to see what they're about and how they do it. But I can also do a whole separate video on that as well if you guys would like me to. Another one would be making reviewers. So reviewers is something that I've been doing for ages, and when I lived in the Philippines, this is what everyone would do. And reviewers are kind of like a summary of everything that you've learnt, and I love to do it on my laptop on pages, and I like to make it really colourful and really pretty, but you can also just make it plain. But it's basically writing all the information down in a summary, all in one page, and then whenever you do have an exam, you can just go over them without having to flick through all of the pages in your book that have paragraphs and paragraphs of honestly sometimes unnecessary information. When you're making it as well, you reword things so you understand it more too. I'll put some examples up on here. I make them for as many topics basically as I can. I've made them for media theorists, I've made them for my biology chapters, and I'm going to make one for every single chapter. I've already made one for almost every single chapter now. Yeah, they're really helpful, and I can again take them anywhere with me. I've sent them to my friends as well, and they find them really helpful too, so that's another technique that I like to use. So in terms of motivation, I'm actually going to share with you an app that I have found. No sponsor, no partnership, I am simply sharing this with you because it's really helped me. So a few of you may have already heard of this app, but it is called Forest. So it's a productivity app, and basically what it does is it times you, but it not only times you as a timer would, but it also builds a whole forest from every time you've revised, and if you leave the app when you're revising, it kills the plant and it stays on your forest forever. You are able to get coins, and you can use those coins to buy new trees to put in your forest. So it's kind of like a video game, except it motivates you to be productive, which is very helpful. So I've not used this every single time that I've revised, but this is what I've gotten so far within my month of revision. I've not used it every single time that I've revised, so this isn't even like an actual measurement of how much I've been revising, but within just this month I've revised 855 minutes, and these are all the little plants that I've been able to plant as well, and I've been able to rack up 655 coins, which is great. So because it rewards you, it motivates you to keep on building your forest and keep on being productive, and it's also a great way to look back on how much you've revised over the week or the month or the day, and it keeps you accountable for how much you've revised as well. Also, if you just want to use the regular timer, that's amazing as well. I've been doing that too for a long time. Again, it keeps you accountable, it keeps you into timed conditions just like an exam would, and we respond to that in a very kind of like fight or flight way. We want to get it done. Our competitiveness comes out and our alertness comes out because we are suddenly under a constraint, and we want to make sure that we get it done under those timed conditions. So always put yourself under a timer when you're revising or when you're doing practice questions. Trust me, it's very effective. And last thing for motivation is classical music or baroque music. I've been listening to just literally the simple Spotify baroque playlist. I just searched baroque, and I've been listening to this one, the top 50 picks, or baroque for thinking and studying, and I've been listening to this with my earphones in when I study, and it makes me feel like a bloody genius. Mozart who? Honestly, this helps so much. It puts you in a mode, and it really helps you focus, and it really motivates you to push and keep on doing everything that you're doing, and it keeps you at tempo as well, rather than having your mind feel like it's all over the place. You feel like you're on another level, it transports you to another world. I'm being so extra about this music. Maybe I'm a bit too excited about this. This combined with the timer or your forest app, as well as obviously nice looking notes, those really helped me throughout my revision time. Honestly, I really enjoyed revising these past 2 weeks. Yes, I was stressed, but I really liked my revision routine. So yeah, I did say that was the last thing, but the last thing that I want to say, which is not essential, I usually wake up at 5:25 every morning. I changed that to waking up at 5 AM. I used to wake up at 5 AM every single day anyway, but I decided to do it again during exam season, mock exam season, just to get a bit more revision in, because I'd usually use the morning time just to do a workout and then do some work as well for social media, because I am a social media manager, so I'd usually use the mornings to do a bit of writing for that. When you wake up early in the morning, that's when you have most of your brain power, because you have not used any brain energy yet, and you don't use much of it either in the morning, because your mornings are dedicated to very menial tasks such as brushing your teeth or making breakfast or showering. So maximizing that brain power and energy first thing in the morning when you wake up is amazing for studying, and literally I cannot even explain how much of an impact it made before exams and just for revision in general. That extra 25-30 minutes that I got every morning to add that onto that revision and to make sure that everything was clear really helped, and it really made a difference. So yeah, waking up at 5 AM truly makes a difference, and even though it was only 25 25 minutes earlier than I would usually wake up. It really helped me, and even on the weekends and up till now, even though my exams are done, I'm still waking up at 5 a.m. just because it feels really nice to wake up and just have that extra, again, 25 to 30 minutes to do my own thing. I think that's all for everything I've done for revision. So in terms of the next 4 months, or under 4 months now, before I face my actual exams, I will be doing or practicing a few more new revision techniques, which I can't wait to do. I'm actually already doing them. I've made myself a revision timetable. I've got one for each of my classes or subjects, and I'm going to be doing them and following them every day. My little motto is, I actually don't remember how it's worded. Okay, I've completely forgotten it, but basically I'm going to be going off retrospective revision and spaced recall, I think it's called. If you want me to do again another video all about that, I will, but I'll also link down Ali's video, which is, he's also a YouTuber, and Unjaded Jade videos, and they talk a bit more about this, and they get a lot more scientific, and they have a lot more proof and evidence, and they've also practiced it as well, and they've been very successful. So I'm going to be practicing those 2 techniques mainly, as well as the ones that I've talked about already, within the next 4 months, to make sure that I am as prepared as ever. I want to do that by simply incorporating probably from like 20 minutes to 2 hours every single day, just to look back on everything that I've learned, so my memory is constantly being refreshed and I don't have to load in a whole chunk of it 2-3 weeks before the actual exam. And I'll tell you if that is just as effective as my other ones, and if it works for me when I've done them, which will So my camera ended up dying on me and I didn't get to finish what I was saying. Is this blurry? I don't know. But anyways, I'll just end the video off here now because I do not have anything else to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. If your exams are also coming up, I wish you the best of luck, and we'll get through this. We'll get through this together. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys soon.